Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday afternoon, January 6th. We're looking at Window Traders market profile of the ES and NQ. Interesting day today. Bulls took a pretty good commanding lead early. Gap, value, indices. They tried to go trend up and failed. And then after that, once we took out E's low, bears just took over for the entire afternoon. We end up with a trend day down, a price probe in ES and SPY, but we do hold the gap. Now remember, they're weekly gaps. Let's go through the three of them first. Righty does not get an overnight, but they do hold a trend down in K. They were 7 for 7 at one point up here and end up with a trend day down. NQ has nothing to lean on. Small POC, no trend. Yes, they have the gap below, but I'm talking about as far as intraday, nothing. So that means hard hats will be required if we open up inside of today's range. ES ends up with a very small set of single prints. Now, a couple of things were accomplished by the Bulls, even though they failed the entire afternoon. For one, the daily is up. And for two, the weekly's back to balance in ES and NQ and righty. Now, I still feel, though, that the Fed day high, even though we had gotten it, needs, again, to be taken out. Because, yes, I'm calling the daily up, but look at this. Until you resolve this whole mess, right, nothing's going to really change. Okay, so now instead of even the 19th high, we're talking more on the 26th high. Okay, and the low from, let's say, Thursday. So yes, the daily is up for now and the weekly's back to balance, so that's good. But I still think we need to get above those levels here. Again, same with NQ. Here's what was Fed day? There was Fed day. We made that. So again, at some point, we want to get acceptance out of these pretty much wider balances on the daily, even though we're going to call the dailies up. Had a good day today, and believe it or not, it was entirely from the long side. Now, 8 period started. I did well on ebb and flows, but I did miss the overnight high. Did not get it. I took a long in B off the turnover, which paid. I took the long off the turnover, which paid. And then again on ebb and flow trades. And again to get A's high in NQ. So A and B started off nice. Got long in C to get the IB high also. First I took it. It didn't get it right away. Took it off, made money, came back in, went back up, went in twice on it. E period. Took longs again with ebb and flows. Now, when F period started coming around, one of our traders said in the room, we failed to go trend up and there's nothing really to lean on for today in the intraday on a pullback. Now that was in the beginning, end of E, beginning of F, we were speaking. Now, I said to him, that is true. However, on a day like today, I'm definitely looking for an afternoon pullback because Bulls had everything at that point. Gap, value, indices, IB high, overnight high, the opening. You name it. They had it. POC raised in ES. And guess what? He was right, and the MGI turned. Now, I don't want to say I was wrong. I was basing what I thought on all the MGI at that point when he started talking about it in F. However, I did tell him, and anybody in the room, unless we were a strong trend day up, I have no problem with you looking for shorts. It's two-sided trade. We had single prints in B. They failed. Could have taken a short when we made the new highs in C and D. I just didn't, but you certainly could have. Same with ES. So unless the market's really strong trend, I have no problem with you taking the shorts. Plus, the other thing we spoke about is we had pretty much a price vacuum up to the next destination. So once we got the one-time framing, the overnight, the one-time framing, and the IB high, a lot of times they turn the algos off if they can't hold trend. And that's what they did. However, I did not believe we would just go from F's high to M's low. But we did. So it was a great look on his part. Now, I did trade F and G on the long side and did well. I was picking my spots. I was very patient when I was doing them because I still thought it could be an afternoon pullback. But when G continued to go down and then H started, I'm like, something has changed. Now, that didn't mean I was looking for shorts because I wasn't. So I did nothing in H and I. I did take a long in J because I didn't think we were going to hold trend in NQ, which we didn't. And I took another small long in K, same thing. So did I miss opportunities on the sell side? Well, of course you can say that. ES went from 65 down to 04. It's almost a $5 range. Same with NQ. But the MGI was so mixed, especially early on, it was still in favor of the bulls. I was not looking for that short. So I still had a good day overall. Was I biased to the long side? Sure I was. Now, it ended up with the bulls winning overall, basically, but nothing. It didn't seem it. I mean, NQ bulls won on our checklist sheet 6-2. Certainly doesn't feel it. ES won 5-3. But yeah, it goes to show you sometimes that MGI is changing, or it hasn't changed yet. So it certainly doesn't, it was so accommodating in A, B, C, D, and E. We just went up. Any pullback was worth the long. Now in the afternoon, it flipped the script. We went down. However, there's a big difference. There's context. A, B, C, D, E went up with all the things in favor of them, correct? For the bulls. F, G, H, I, J, K, L, and M went down. Yes, they were taking a lot away from the bulls, but the bears never, ever got to the point where they were flipping the script and they were going to be in the lead on our little checklist sheet. Again, it's just a guide. So, it was an interesting dynamic. Especially, it was a great conversation to start an F period and how it played out. So anyway, I'm not going to go over the destinations I have in bigger increments. The bigger thing to take away from today, at least for now, is what? The daily's up and the weekly's back to balance. So that's good. Here's our charts. Right now, again, it's only the first day of the week, so a lot can happen. We'll see what kind of a balance we're going to call it in ES and SPY. ES and NQ. And the daily is up. It's an ugly candle, but it's up. But again, until you resolve Fed Day high, until you take it out, there's ES, here's NQ. Until you take that out, I am calling the daily up, yes, but nothing changed in the real bigger picture. So that day's high is still very important to me. That's the 18th high. Okay? And then Friday's low, we were down on the daily. Right? So Friday's low is the big one to the downside. So how big is that balance? 606, we'll round it out. To 580. So that's what? A $26 range. Okay? That's a pretty big range. So even though I'm calling the daily up, it's still a pretty big, larger balance if you look at the bigger picture. And until we either take that out and go, or take this out and go, you're going to get this type of action. When the market gets too long, give it up. Too short, give it up inside of this large balance. Hope you had a good day trading. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to my channel. Enjoy your evening, and we will speak prior to the opening tomorrow.